What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
I think I already know the answer. You reach for your phone, right? So try to remember what was the first thing you saw on your phone? A headline, a notification, a meme, or a video. You now ask yourself the question, you choose it or was it chosen for you? That's the question exactly what we are going to talk about today. Now we are going to look at the social dilemma, a documentary that shows how social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, etc. are shaping our life constantly. Most of us see social media as just a tool, an app to scroll, connect, and relax. Uh, Something we control. But there's more of behind every scroll, every like, every swipe, there's a system. And it's something that changes you. It's learning you, it's predicting you, it's influencing you. And over time, it changes you. That's the most important part. The strange part, it doesn't feel like control. It feels like choice. And now we are going to explore three ideas of social network. First one is agenda setting, framing, and political economy. This isn't about theory. It's about you. Because your feed is not random. It's curated. So something is deciding what you see, how you stay. So let's go deeper.
Let's break this down in a simple way that actually makes sense. The social dilemma shows us something that we don't usually think about. The social media is not really made for us, but it feels like it is. We use it to trends, watch videos, and relax. But in reality, it is designed for the advertisers. Which leads to one of the most important ideas of the documentary. If you are not paying for the product, you are the product. So, what does that actually mean? Every time we use an app, whether it's liking, scrolling, or pausing on a video, or just hovering for a few seconds, the system is watching. It tracks what you click on, how long you stay, what you skip, and what connects you emotionally. And all of this information are collected to build something called data profile. Think of it as a digital version of you, a version that knows what you like, what you skip, and what takes your interest. Sometimes even better than you know yourself. But it doesn't stop there. The next thing is where the things get a little bit more uncomfortable. The system starts to predict your behavior. Ask what we can show this person to keep them here longer. And then it takes it. For example, if you watch something about a topic, you will see more of it. If you react strongly towards something, you will see the similar things. And over the time, it does not just affect on what you see. It affects on what you think about, what you care about, and even in your mood. And the most powerful part, we don't even notice it happening. Because everything feels comfortable, personalized, almost like it's our own choice. But behind the scene, the algorithm is constantly planning what appears first, what disappears, and why. Because the longer you stay on the platform, the more ad you see, the more data they collect, and the more money they make. So your attention becomes something valuable, something that is being competed for, something that is being controlled. So when we think we are just casually scrolling, but actually we are a part of a bigger system, a system that is tracking us, learning from us, and shaping our online experience. And this is where everything we will talk about next, like agenda setting, framing, where it starts to connect. So before the media can influence what we think, it has to control what we see in the first place.
Media doesn't tell us what to think, it tells us what to think about. Traditionally, this role belongs to journalists and editors. They decide which story made it to the front page and which topic deserved public attention. But today, this power has shifted. On social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok, agenda setting theory is no longer controlled by humans only. It is driven by algorithms. This algorithm quietly decides which post you see first, which topic starts trending, which issue dominates your feed. And here is the key idea: the more frequently you see something, the more important it becomes to feel. For examples, imagine your feed is constantly filled with political debates, social conflicts, and breaking news. Over time, you started to believe that these are the most urgent and dominant issue in the world. Not necessarily because they are the most important, but because they are the most visible. Now think about the opposite. What about the things that you don't see? Topics that don't generate click and share, stories that are not engaging enough. These don't just get ignored, they gradually disappear from your awareness. This leads to what we call a filtered reality. You are not seeing the world as it truly is. You are seeing a version of the world that is selected for you. And that's where the real power of agenda settings lies today. It's no longer loud and obvious, it doesn't force ideas onto you. Instead, it works quietly in the background, deciding what deserves your attention and what doesn't. So, in the age of algorithm, the question is no longer just what's the news. It becomes why am I seeing this and what I'm not seeing.
Imagine this: two people watch the same event at the same time, same facts, and same moment. But one walks away thinking this is justice, and the other walks away thinking this is chaos. So, what changed? Not the event, the frame. If agenda settings decide what enters your world, framing decides what it means. Framing is not about information, it's about interpretation. It's the subtle choices, the words in a caption, the image that's selected, and the part of the story that's highlighted, and the part of the story that's completely left out. Because here's the truth: the way something is presented can completely change the way you think about it. Take a simple example: a protest. It can be framed as a powerful movement demanding change or a dangerous crowd disrupting order. Same event, different meaning, different reaction. On social media, you're not seeing one frame. You're seeing the frame that the algorithm thinks will affect you the most. Studies and the social dilemma highlight the strongest drivers of engagement are anger, fear, and outrage. And what kind of content affects people the most? Emotional. Because when you feel strongly, you react faster, you stay longer. Your feed becomes filled with content that is more dramatic, more extreme, more emotionally charged. Not because it's the most accurate, but because it's the most engaging. So, the real danger of framing isn't that it shows you something false. It's that it shows you something partial in a way that feels completely start absorbing. A version of reality that is constantly framed to provoke you. This is why two people scrolling can scroll the same event but end up living in two different worlds. And that's the power of frame. It doesn't just shape what you see, it quietly shapes what you think.
We all use social media every day. We scroll, we like, we share, almost without thinking. But have you ever stopped and thought about who is actually controlling what we see? To understand that thing, we have to learn about a topic which is called political economy of media. Social media companies like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, they are not charities. Obviously, they are a profitable business. And how do they make profit? Like, they are not actually selling anything on their platform. They are giving the access of their platform to you like for free. But there is a catch. You are the actual product. They make profit out of you. More specifically, your attention and your data. Every time you open an app, every time you give a like, every time you post something, they are learning about you. They are collecting data. This personal data, your habit, your desire, your fear, your interest, they sold it to advertisers who use it to target you with precision. Here is where it gets serious. The companies don't just collect data passively. They sell it to black market and they also use it to run their advertisement campaign. So your information is not in your hand. They are using it without any of your permission. So what kind of content does algorithm push? Not necessarily true content, not necessarily a balanced content, but a content that triggers your emotion like fear, anger, outrage, excitement, because this is what keeps you.
When we combine everything, we start to see the bigger picture together. Agenda settings decides what information reaches us, framing shows how we react to it, and the political economics explain why this circle continues. And the result is where people are more divided, where misinformation spreads rapidly, where our attention is constantly pulled in different directions, and where even reality can feel uncertain. But the most serious impact is this: we slowly lose the ability to think independently, not because someone forced us to, but because we are quietly consistent influenced. Social dilemma doesn't just reveal problems in technology, it reveals something deeper about us, our habits, our weakness, and how easily our attention can be shaped. So next time you pick up your phone and start scrolling, ask yourself, why am I saying this? Who benefits from this? And most importantly, is this influencing me without me realizing it? Because in a world full of algorithm, awareness might be the only control we truly have.